One thing that they like testing on this exam is your knowledge of parabolic functions. Parabolas just being graphs that look like this or that. The key thing you need to know about a parabola is that any parabola has symmetry across its vertex, and the vertex being the tip. So in this case, it would be the bottom. For downward opening parabola, it'd be at the top. And so this parabola has perfect symmetry across this axis. To give you a real-world example of this, let's say we're playing catch outside. Here's me, and there is you. I'm going to toss you a ball, and let's say there's no wind, we're completely inside a vacuum, so we don't have any external things that are affecting the direction and the velocity of the ball. If I toss this to you, then it takes a parabolic form, right? Well, let's say I make this into an axis. I can ask you a few different types of questions. I toss you the ball at t is equal to 0 or time is equal to 0. Let's say it reaches its maximum height 5 seconds later. One question I can ask you is, after how many total seconds will you receive the ball? Well, again, knowing that there is symmetry across the vertex, this being the vertex, if it took 5 seconds to get to the highest peak, then it will take another 5 seconds to fall back down, which means that you would catch the ball at t seconds. So hopefully that, that does make a little intuitive sense. What we're doing is we're just really trying to figure out like how to apply symmetry to parabolic graphs. Another question might be something like this. They'll give you a picture like this, and they'll say that the maximum of this is at h2, where this is the h of x function. Well, if they say that the maximum is at h2, that means that this x value is 2. In the answer choices, they might say, what does x equal if h of x is equal to 0? Remember, this h of x represents our y values, and they're saying, when does this graph hit the x-axis, or when does the y value of this graph equal 0? Well, it would either be there or there. We have two options for x values. And in the answer choices, they might give you something like -2, 1, 3, 3.5, and 4. So how does this work? Well, we know that this is the origin, so this is a distance of 2. We know that there's also symmetry, so at this height, this distance must also be 2. So if this is 0, and that's 2 on the x-axis, this must be 4. So this point out here has to be something greater than 4. So we definitely know that, that's not the answer choice we're looking for. Vice versa, this number has to be less than 0. And so the only answer choice that works would be A, which would be -2, because 1, 3, 3.5, and 4 would be somewhere within this range. So again, there's a lot of things that you have to be able to visualize and see. Key things here is understanding that we're looking for an x value of 2 for the vertex. Also here, we know that it's asking us to find the roots of this parabolic function or shape, and specifically that means looking for these two big dots, those x values for those two big dots. And finally, knowing that a parabola has symmetry. So if the maximum is reached at x equals 2, and this distance is 2, then this distance also must be 2. So the points that we're looking for are 2 units or further than 2 units away from x is equal to 2 on both sides. So it can't be anything between 0 and 4. So our answer has to be something on the outside of that parameter or restriction. So the answer would be -2.